$250 billion was the size of the online e-learning pie in 2020. Just think about that for a second. You might know already that online courses are booming ever since people started to work more from home. And perhaps you've also been consuming online courses in recent years. And if you have, the logical next step for you with your entrepreneurial brain is that you have thought about how to become a teacher yourself rather than a student. But creating courses is really difficult, right? No, it's not. But you need to invest a lot of money to make it look professional. No, you don't. I do not know enough about the topic to start this journey. Well, perhaps you don't, but if you wait until you know everything and then start to learn how to create, manage and sell courses online, you might very well be too late. Let me show you. Perhaps you've been thinking about creating and selling courses online. There are several great benefits about online courses. Some of these advantages are very obvious, but there are other advantages that you might not realize. For instance, I find the online courses that I've taken in recent years even more valuable than my bachelor and master in marketing. Of course, my degrees help me in landing jobs, but from a knowledge perspective, a good course today is arguably more up-to-date and state-of-the-art than the classes you took 10 years ago. 20 years ago. Just imagine this. Some of the marketing classes I took were about printed media, and that says it all, right? Another advantage is that you can really cherry pick the information and skills that you're looking for without investing your time and money into something you're never going to use. Just think back to all the classes you took in college and that you never used after that. Some other advantages. Most of my master classes cost between $297 and $997. On Udemy, you can even get the occasional deal on some of these. And that is a lot less than any course in traditional education. Another example, learning when it suits your life. Money back guarantee if the subject matter does not fit your purpose or your expectations. And many more examples, but I guess the point is clear, right? So what do you need to get started to teach the world what it is you know and love? That's what I'll cover next in this video. I will cover both the free and paid solutions. And make sure you stay until the end, because I also explain what to do if you are searching for a premium solution but are not willing to pay any subscriptions or recurring fees. Hi, my name is Joram from Success is Made, and I help aspiring entrepreneurs just like you to launch and exponentially grow their online business with the Value Pillar system. Join our community of VP entrepreneurs for free online business tips and advice. So the first thing you need is something to record your videos. And of course you can use your phone or you can use something like an iPad. And the reason why I put free behind this is that I imagine that you already have something like that, right? Most people do have a smartphone and you can record very high quality videos with most of the smartphones out there. Another option is of course to buy quality equipment. I often use my Canon M50 because it's very small and very light. And the software from Canon works really well if you want to connect directly to your PC or laptop. So that's the first thing you need. Then you need something for screen recording, and the software I use already for years is Bandicam. It is paid. I think it costs about $40, but it is a one-time payment, so there's no recurring fees. What I like a lot about Bandicam is that you can get the picture-in-picture solution, and you have the option to have the webcam image burned into your video immediately. Other options are you can connect, of course, a webcam, but also a camera. Here you can connect a microphone like this one. You can change the image that you see here into round or whatever shape you want. You can also make it freestanding so you don't have the background here. And when it comes to background, you can use a tool like XSplit VCam so you can change whatever background in there, as you can see here. You can also remove the background, put something professional in there. So in short, I really like Bandicam and it's very cheap to buy. If you're not willing to pay money, you can always use OBS, which is a very good professional solution. And they have a lot of fun additional extras that you can use. So you can use a frame around your video, for instance. So that's Bandicam and it's OBS. Then you have video editing tools, and I use Premiere Pro. It's almost industry standard. So many people use Premiere Pro. It looks like they're trying to switch. Adobe tries to switch from a one-time purchase to almost like a subscription model, because in the later iterations of Premiere Pro, they've also added online services like adding subtitles. And if you're looking for a free solution, you can use a tool like CapCut. Here it is. You can use whatever video you have, add it. You can even add stock videos. There's transitions in there. You can cut, paste, you can rearrange the clips. You can do almost everything with your phone that you can do with Premiere Pro on your PC or laptop. So that's two options for you. Adobe Premiere Pro, which I use, which is paid. The other one is free, which is called CapCut. I use CapCut a lot to edit my videos for TikTok because you can record immediately in portrait mode on your phone and then edit it in CapCut on your phone to upload to TikTok. And then to change your videos into a course and then into a professional product, you can add a video intro or outro. I've used Fiverr and Upwork hundreds of times to have intro or outro videos created for me. Of course, I can make something myself, either with what I just said, CapCut, or with Adobe Premiere Pro. There are people out there who make dozens of intros and outros every single day, and they can do a much better job than I. It is called Fiverr for a reason, because for $5, $10, $15, for small amounts of money, you can have a very professional looking intro or outro. So you record a video, and if you then add the intro or the outro, you already have a much more professional looking video than without. Fiverr is also a very good solution to create your cover image. Here, let me show you. First, I'm looking for an intro video. I will do your YouTube intro or outro or promo video. So for $20, you can have a very good intro that can look like this. Just imagine if you add something like this to your video. It already immediately gives you a different feeling to that video, right? It looks professional and it looks productizable. This was just one example, but if you look at all the options you have here, there are thousands of people offering these services. Even I offer these services on Fiverr. So that's the intro video. You can use, of course, different keywords to get to the same type of gigs. And then, of course, you have the cover image. So let's go look for that. So also here you can see Udemy attractive thumbnail design. So the cover image that people see when they're looking for your course on any platform. I use the example Udemy here because it is one of the biggest platforms out there. Course image, $5. Udemy image design starting at $5. If you use the services of someone who does this dozens of times every single day, it will probably look a lot better than if you make a cover image yourself. And then finally, to market and sell your course. An LMS or learning management system. A free one is, for instance, Udemy. And Udemy is, as I just said, one of the biggest platforms out there. There are also other solutions out there that work on a almost subscription-like basis. So you pay a certain amount every single month and you have access to the entire portfolio of courses that are on that platform. On the other hand, I often use Thrive Apprentice because it is part of Thrive Suite, so the suite of tools and solutions that I always recommend. It is already included in there. So your website, your LMS, all the marketing options that are out there, your membership access and everything else is already connected. So it's one package, it's one suite of tools that is already interconnected. So it's by far the best and cheapest paid product out there. And I use this now after trying and pressure testing 5 other options before this. It's by far the best experience I've ever had. And to market, I also put Udemy here because Udemy is such a big platform. I'll show you. This is Udemy, and as you can see, there are thousands, tens of thousands of courses on here. It's a good option to start with Udemy because it's free. There are just 3 things that you have to keep in mind. One is they are huge, and it means that they are competing with hundreds of other courses in the same niche, potentially, unless you have something that is really unique. The second one is they take a big chunk of your sales. So if you sell a course, they take a piece of the action. And as a default, you also participate in the promotions that they use. So every 2 to 3 weeks, they have a huge promotion where a course of, in this case, like $130, they mark it down. So they reduce the price to, let's say, $15 to $17, which might be a lot lower than what you want to market and to price it for. But if you don't, all the other courses that are out there, the hundreds or even thousands of other courses will, of course, be sold a lot more than yours. So I have found that it's not really a viable option to not take part in these promotions. And it's a very simple mechanism. Based on the experience of your students, Udemy will start to promote these on their homepage or on your feed. As you can see here, these are based on what I've been purchasing before, and now they recommend these courses for me. If a student has a certain interest and I have good courses, they will market my courses right here for those students. So to recap, to market and sell your course, you need a LMS, a learning management system. You have platforms that do this for you, like Udemy, but you also can self-host your courses, like with Thrive Apprentice, which is a plugin that works with WordPress. And then to actually market your course, you can use Udemy, so the recommendation system that they have. You can, of course, use your own social media channels to market and to highlight your own courses to your friends, family, and to your network. And once the ball starts rolling, you can use, of course, paid media, either Facebook ads, YouTube ads, Google ads, to promote your course to the masses. Tell me what is holding you back from creating your first course. Do you think you're not ready? Are you not comfortable teaching or being on camera? Let me know in the comments below. I do read your comments and will help you if I can. And here's the bonus. If you are like me when I started my first online business, you try to keep recurring costs down by limiting the number of subscriptions you use for your business. There's no one who understands you better than me because I've been there. I always recommend the full suite of tools that I use because it is so very complete. And you will not run into the problem later that you try to connect another free tool only to find out that it doesn't connect well and that you have to pay for even more solutions down the road. So if you don't mind, I will still leave that link in the description for you. However, if you are really not ready for recurring annual costs, you should consider to buy the card software from ThriveCard. It is not the same company as Thrive Themes, but they do have great card software for one single lifetime payment. So no recurring costs, at least for now, because they are planning to charge a monthly fee like all other card software solutions out there. And why am I telling you this? Because you might not be looking for card software. Well, the best thing about it is it includes a complete LMS or learning management system. So that means that you can use the card software from ThriveCard to sell your course through social media or your website. And that purchase will give your students access to the course, and only those customers that actually made the purchase. So you have your own premium solution without relying on a course platform that takes a big cut of your sales. And you don't have to worry about managing the actual access rights, and it works well with WordPress, Thrive Themes, and many other solutions. So that means a seamless experience for your customers, your students, and for you. If this video was helpful for you, please let me know and consider subscribing to Success is Made. I upload a new video on one of my channels every single week. If you sign up for the newsletter, you join the community of VP entrepreneurs and you get free tips and tools to start and grow your online business. If there's something you want me to cover in a new video about starting an online business, please let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for your time and hope to see you here again. To your success. Bye.